So today I'm just gonna kind of want to sit and talk, which honestly that's not really a crazy statement for me to make. But what I want to talk about is I want to talk about how we as people regularly put ourselves into echo chambers where we're just kind of hearing the same things over and over, and how the people we surround ourselves with really do build our self-image, right? So, for example, my entire life revolves around church, school, gym on a cycle. Okay. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. But because of the school I go to, because of the gym that I attend, because of the church and the denomination that I go to, I'm constantly hearing the same things from the same people over and over and over and over again that just kind of reaffirm my thoughts, right? And I think oftentimes we do this, and then sometimes it can help us build an inflated sense of ego because we think we're right all the time or whatever, or sometimes it can really break us down. The school I go to is academically advanced. It's hard on purpose, right? I'm not top of my class, not even close. And I've gotten used to believing that I'm dumb, believing that I'm stupid, and like not being the best, not being the best at anything. I can study the most, I can review like as much as I want to, but I'm just not going to ever succeed the best. I'll get by, but I'll never be good, you know? And recently I've noticed that comparatively, I'm not doing that bad. I'm really not. Once I step out of the little itty bitty circle that I've put myself into, it's not as big of it's not that deep. It's not as big of a deal as it once may seem. And I think it's really important to step out of the little circle you're in, look at yourself from the outside in, and then be like, bro, do I suck as a person or am I doing okay? Because I'm in full-time college courses now, right? And coastal college courses, they start off very introductory. The class I'm in right now, I've always sucked at math. I've always said I sucked at math. I've always hated math. I'm doing great, and it's my math course. And it's because I'm finally outside of my little circle, and I'm testing my skills against the average, against normal people. And sometimes my little circles, I'm in a little circle of bad people and I'm doing great, and then I step out into the big pond and I suck. Okay? That happens as well. That happens a lot with like high school sports, for example. I'm the only teen girl at my gym. I can't say that anymore. I'm the only high school girl at my gym. The only high school girl that really goes there, that trains consistently, whatever. And I was like, dude, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty solid, right? Like, the coaches, they say I'm doing great, whatever. I went and I competed this last season against other high school girls. I sucked, okay? And yeah, you could say maybe it was the rule set, maybe it's because I wasn't used to wrestling, whatever. But at the end of the day, I was not good. But then also I can step back even away from that and be like, okay, but I can run a mile without stopping, which isn't great. Like, my time is bad, my time is slow, but once I step away from like the fitness inflation that I see on social media, that I see in even my little small groups, you're not doing as bad as you think you are. Okay, you're not doing as bad as you think you are. Do I think my nutrition's on point? Absolutely not. But there are people that go to McDonald's 3 times a day, and as long as I'm doing better now than I was yesterday, and I'm doing worse today than I will be doing tomorrow, then I'm fine. Another example of this is church. I was so used, I changed this recently, I was so used to hearing the same things over and over in a little non-denominational, a mega church that I went to, a non-denominational mega church that I went to, that then when I stepped away from that and I started to hear things about traditions, about how maybe we are actually held to some of the things in the Old Testament and things of that sort, I was shocked. You really, once you get comfortable in your little area, too comfortable in your little area, once you aren't flexible enough, which the pastor actually preached on this today, you need to be able to be flexible. You need to be able to understand other people's point of view. Which, does my school do a good job of that on the intellectual level? Yeah, sure. But on the social level, on the societal level of we need to get out of our little itty bitty spaces, out of the South, out of the Bible Belt, out of the Northwest, whatever, out of just your little Planet Fitness or your powerlifting and CrossFit gym or whatever. Once you step outside of that, even just a little bit, you start to realize who you really are. I kind of feel like I'm not really a person. I'm kind of just like floating through, doing step 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of floating through whatever I feel called to do by the Lord, but then not actually really living within it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm kind of just mediocre in all of the sections that I am in, but that is because I have made it to the point where I can be mediocre in pretty solid sections of my life. And if it gets to a point where I'm like top of everything, top of my class, top of my sport, top of everything, that's just a sign that I need to move on so I can be bad again, right? And being terrible at something's not always a bad thing, but sometimes it's kind of discouraging. And sometimes when it's kind of discouraging, what you need to do is you need to turn on Honey Bison and you need to watch What I Eat in a Day as a Fat Person Who Doesn't Want to Lose Weight. Or what you need to do is you need to go outside and go for a trip and see that you are fine. I'm so out of shape. Yeah, but can you do that hike? Oh, I'm so fat. Okay, well, I mean, but can you run a mile? Oh, my grades suck. Are you passing? Sometimes we really just need to stop being so hard on ourselves, and sometimes we need to be harder on ourselves. But either way, we need to get out of the little itty-bitty circles we've put ourselves into where we're just hearing the same things over and over and over, repeated, and get another opinion. And sometimes we need to shut ourselves off and stop getting all the opinions. So it's really just get out of your comfort zone. We just need to get out of our comfort zones, and then everything will be just so much better. That's all I had to say. Just a bunch of nonsense.